Disney's live-action Hercules remake is still inching forward, with Joe and Anthony Russo producing and Guy Ritchie attached as director, at least for now. The original animated film dropped in 1997, telling the myth-inspired journey of Hercules, the son of Zeus, who was stripped of his godhood as a baby thanks to Hades' failed attempt to eliminate him. Left with only his super strength, Hercules grows up on Earth feeling like a total outsider, never quite fitting in. But when he discovers his true origins, he's told by Zeus that in order to return to Mount Olympus, he must become a true hero, not just in strength, but in heart. Disney's version of this classic myth mixed comedy, music, and mythology into a beloved cult hit. And now, decades later, it's getting the remake treatment like so many others in Disney's vault. That could be good or bad, depending on your perspective. Some live-action adaptations have nailed it. Others have felt soulless and unnecessary. But when the Russos confirmed in April 2024 that Hercules is still happening, fans immediately lit up again with excitement and curiosity. The remake has been floating in rumor territory since 2022, when Joe Russo told Variety that they were working on it with Guy Ritchie as the likely director. But beyond that announcement, details were scarce. For a long time, all we had were fan theories, speculation, and the occasional cryptic tease. Recently, however, the Russos have offered a little more. They've said that this new Hercules won't be a shot-for-shot copy of the animated version. Instead, they're aiming for something more experimental, something different. A fresh spin rather than a carbon copy. That's both exciting and risky. You're dealing with a story people grew up with. Mess with it too much, and you risk losing the charm. Play it too safe, and you miss the chance to make it something special. As of now, the film still hasn't entered production, and the latest update from the Russo brothers is that they're still waiting on a finished script. Rumors started swirling recently that Guy Ritchie might have exited the project, but the Russos stayed silent on that, only assuring fans that the movie is very much still in development. That said, with the brothers also neck-deep in the next Avengers projects, it's very possible Hercules could end up being pushed even further down the line. Casting, of course, is still a total mystery. Nothing official, nothing confirmed, just endless fan wish lists and debates over who could possibly step into those iconic sandals. Whether this remake becomes another Lion King or another Mulan remains to be seen. But one thing's clear, people are watching, waiting, and hoping Disney gets this one right. The Russo brothers have hinted that this new take on Hercules won't follow the traditional Disney musical formula. Instead, they're exploring something more experimental, something that leans into the modern world, even referencing the influence of TikTok as part of their creative inspiration. What exactly that means is still up in the air, but the idea is clear. This isn't going to be a straightforward remake. It's likely going to be bold, stylized, and built for a new kind of audience. This direction suggests Disney might be reimagining the Hercules myth with a much more contemporary lens. Not unlike what they did with Mulan, where they stripped out the songs and focused more on epic drama and martial arts. Or like Beauty and the Beast, where they added entirely new musical numbers and subplots for side characters. The Hercules remake seems to be aiming for that same kind of retooling, but possibly even more drastic. Adding fuel to the fire is a rumor that the movie may not even be titled Hercules at all. Instead, it could be called Hades, shifting the story's entire point of view to the god of the underworld himself. That would be a wild twist, but not unprecedented. Disney has already done it with Maleficent, reframing Sleeping Beauty through the villain's eyes, and again with Cruella, giving the 101 Dalmatians baddie her own origin story. If this Hades-centered angle is true, then the remake becomes way more than just a nostalgia trip. It turns into a full-on character study of one of Disney's most iconic and entertaining villains. And honestly, that might be the smartest move. Hades stole the show in the original film with his fast-talking sarcasm and big villain energy. Giving him the spotlight could bring a totally new dynamic to the story, one we haven't seen before. Still, the unpredictability of Disney's remakes looms large. For every Jungle Book or Cinderella that hits the mark, there's a Pinocchio or Peter Pan and Wendy that fizzles out. And no matter how creative or ambitious the direction might be, the public's reception is always a roll of the dice. Even if the studio managed to bring back Danny DeVito as an older, grumpier Phil, it's no guarantee that fans would embrace the new version as an upgrade. Nostalgia is powerful, and people hold the original Hercules close to their hearts. So this remake, or reimagining, is walking a fine line. It could be something unforgettable, or it could fall flat under the weight of its own ambition.